Hi, this is Dr. Go, and this video is of a very important topic. It is, how do we get consistently to our mental state where we can perform our physical best? Now, what is your physical best? Physical best is, well, the best you can sound at any given moment. Really, 90% of violin playing is all in our heads. So how do we focus? Now, I remember my late professor, Mr. Manugian, he used to say, I remember he told me one time in masterclass, but it was so important that I always remembered. He said, when a violinist performs, they have to reach something like an alternative realm, an alternative dimension, so to speak, a place that nothing and no one can touch them. It's theirs and theirs alone. So how do we reach that? What is that plane? I remember there was another lesson that he gave me, a private lesson later on, that he helped me reach that state on the Sibelius Violin Concerto. And it was so cool. As I was listening to him and following what he was saying and suggesting, both from breathing and focus and whatnot, I got to the point where it felt like my inner self actually lifted up. I was looking at the top of my head. I could feel everything, but I was just watching my hands go. I wasn't controlling them. And it was better playing than what I had practiced at home. That was amazing to me. But then when he passed away, I, for some reason, lost how to do it. Well, my last professor for my doctorate studies, she helped me a lot to try to understand how that worked, but I still didn't quite get it back yet. Until I started trying to fuse my martial arts experience with my violin playing experience and everything I learned. Now, my base martial art is Chia-Chien karate. The meditation we do in there for warm-up is through our nose, deep breathing in a kneeling stance. We breathe in for 5 seconds. We hold our breath for 10, and then we breathe out for 5 seconds. And when we hold our breath, it's never with the throat. It's with the gut. Yeah, your core muscles holding your lungs open. So that being said, I was wondering, because in the martial arts, when we're meditating like that, we are focusing on what we're about to do in class. We're focusing on future goals. We're focusing on something that we want to achieve, whether it's a long-term goal or a short-term. Doesn't matter. We're focusing on something. It could be on something we're trying to solve, like a Zen koan or something. Could be. But usually before class, we're just focused on the class, obviously. So what about violin playing? Well, Mr. Manugian did give me this breadcrumb that helped me reach there. When doing scales, he was telling me, always change the breath before you change the bow. That was his thing. He would say, breathe in, breathe out, and then pull the bow. And then to change the breath, not in the middle of the bow, but after you've used 2/3 of the bow, when you hit the 2/3 mark, change your breath then. So if you're breathing out here, breathe in here, breathe in, and then change the bow. And then here with 2/3 mark of the up bow and breathe out here. So we've assigned that our down bow is mostly an exhale, our up bow is mostly an inhale. So now that we have that assignment of breath to concentrate and focus our thoughts, what about using that same sort of concentration from martial arts? We focus on our breath with deep breathing, and we use that focus from martial arts on our violin playing. And what I mean is this. Another reason he had us doing 2/3, 1/3 on the bow was this. When you're pulling your first bow, the first 2/3, we're sitting there listening, adjusting constantly. Even if we think the note is perfect, we're trying to make it better, make it better, make it better, all the way through until the 2/3 mark. Once we hit that, we change the breath, we are singing and feeling our next note. We're preparing for it, that whole 1/3. That way, when we change, The mind is already there before we even play it. I found by combining that aspect of meditation, martial arts, to what my teacher had taught me, it allowed me, by concentrating on my breath, to block out any unnecessary thoughts, to sing very loud and easily and effortlessly in my head, to feel every single part of my body. And here's the best part. After doing that for a few days on my calibration, which is, my scales, arpeggios, double stops, it started transcending into my practice. By working just on my breathing as I practiced, I was able to hit a meditative state in my practice. And then I was able to add that to my performance to the point that I could get up on stage, take 2 breaths, be in that state, and I could play my physical best at the time. Now, it's only been recently that I finally put things together for this aspect. So that's why I'm making a video of it now. Up until a few months ago, I still had problems with stage fright and other such things, or being really physically tired. But only recently, when I really combined this, it was eureka for me. I finally was able to get this. So for those of you who struggle with things like stage fright, or wondering why you sound better at home than in your lesson, or better at home than you do on stage, or something like that, I hope you find something useful in this video. Something either in the the discipline of martial arts, or discipline of violin, or the cross that I'm suggesting. And beyond that, I wish all of you a wonderful journey on the beautiful thing, our violin. Cheers.